Hello, fellows. I just want to say one thing at the start of this video. The mods just found out that they can edit anyone's name in the Discord server, so that's gonna be fun. But anyways, let's take a look at the standings here. The Chicago Bulls are back in first place. They've only lost 3 games. I know Cleveland made some trades, so we'll see how that works out for them. SGA, Embiid, obviously. The Magic are still the 2 spot. We really haven't had that much parity in the East. It's kind of been the same teams at the top for the majority of the sim thus far. Cleveland is in the 3rd spot with a 13.9 differential. The Nets are in the 4th spot with another great start to their season. Davion, Jalen Green, Boncaro. And then it looks like, okay, so the Sixers are in the 4th spot, right? They got Ja. Are those the only teams? Do you know how bad the East is? The East has 5 teams with a positive point differential, okay? Then we get to the Hornets, who are minus 1.4 differential with Maxey. The Celtics, who are minus differential with Brunson. The Knicks with DeJounte Murray, Cam Whitmore, Greg Day. I mean, Hawks, Pistons, Wizards, Pacers, Raptors, Heat, and Bucks. It's just like, how is the East this bad? I don't understand. The West is better, somewhat, although not a lot better. The Rockets are currently the top spot despite not having the best differential. They have Amen and Asur, obviously. They traded for Porzingis, and then they have Jokic, so very good starting lineup on paper. The Suns are in the 2 spot with Jarrett Allen, Colin Freeman. The Mavs are just half a game back, but they have the best point differential, so hopefully I can scoot ahead of them. No pun intended there. The Jazz, your reigning champions with Luka and Day in the 4th spot with an 11.5, and then the Blazers in the 5th spot. So really like 5 pretty strong teams out west, maybe 6 or 7 if you count the Warriors and Lakers. The Warriors with Fox, Brandon Miller, they acquired Fox in a trade. The Kings, I'm surprised they're this good. I mean, they have Mobley, he's one of the best players in the league, so not that much of a surprise, I guess. And then the Lakers, who have a much better point differential than the Kings, but are currently in the 8th spot with Cade Cunningham. Followed then by the Sonics, Outlaws, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Wolves, and Spurs, with the Thunder to round it out. I think the Thunder 5-25, so they're currently the worst team in the league, barely beating out the Heat and Bucks, who are also pretty dang terrible. A lot of teams tanking right now to try to get good rookies in this upcoming draft class. Let's take a look at some league leaders. It looks like Scoot's leading the league in points. That's my guy. Followed by Zion Williamson, Garrison Moss, Victor, Jalen Green, Luka, Keontae George, who's always been a very good scorer in this sim. The Grizzlies might have to bench him if they want to tank. I don't know what else to tell them. I know Brian Windhorst is mad that he doesn't have a worse record, but yeah. Rebounding, it looks like Greg Day and Mobley are tied. So Greg Day is a Knicks generated player. Lauren Barnes, who was the number 1 pick a couple years ago, 2027 for the Celtics. He's an 89 overall already. He's 11.9 boards per game. Then we have Bassey, Chet, Claxton, Allen, Kessler, and Şengün to round out the top 10 for assists. It's Scoot at 11.5 assists per game. That's pretty crazy. Followed by Luka, LaMelo, and Giddey, all averaging about 10. Steals, Bilal is leading the league, tied with Amen. For blocks, it's currently Chet, then Jackson, Wemby, Bassey, Turner, Claxton. Turnovers, it's also Scoot, followed by Amen. Fouls, Taylor Hendricks. Field goal percentage is the GOAT, Jalen Duren. 3-point percentage, Corey Kispert is shooting above 50%. Then we have Dwight Hammonds, who was drafted a few years ago by the Bucks. Eddie Ingram of the Sonics, who was drafted in 2026. Pod, Taylor Hendricks, Jokic, Hardy, Julian Strother. A lot of good 3-point shooters on that list. We'll take a look at each team's stats now. Let's go over to 3-point percentage. The Sixers, I believe, were one of the only teams with a positive point differential out east. The Bucks are rebuilding. The Bulls have only lost 3 games, so they're probably looking like some of the title favorites early on. Obviously, I know Kroening would be happy to get, what is this, his 4th ring if he wins it? And after that, I can almost guarantee you he would rebuild if he won another ring. But I know SGA got that, what was it, like a -1 random event? Not too big of a deal, but definitely hurts a little bit. Could lose you some close games in the playoffs or something. The Hornets, who are a playoff team out east with Maxey, and they still have Scotty Barnes, who's averaging 8 rebounds. Okay, I thought he was almost averaging a triple-double for a second. The Jazz, who are the reigning champions, they traded away Markkanen though, so we'll see. Seems like that's had a decent impact so far, going for a Jaren Jackson. Personally, I think they lost that trade. I don't know if there was a trade review about it that came out or not. The Magic, who are always going to be one step away from their ring. The Mavs, who are my team, they're easily going to win the ring this year, no contest. The Nets, who are having another strong start to the season, you know. I think they're the 3 or 4 seed. I think the 4 spot out east. And we'll see if they can keep it together. The Nuggets with Wemby, I know they just made a move for Devin Booker. So we'll see how that pans out for them. Then we have the Outlaws. Towns was averaging 6.9 rebounds, nice. The Pistons, who are going into rebuild mode, they acquired Ivy from the Nuggets, who's putting up about 23 points per game. Then we have the number 1 seed out west currently, the Houston Rockets. Although I guess it's a basically 2 or 3-way tie out west. Rozier for the Spurs, who's out for 1 sim due to that random event. So I have to remember to heal him, or someone does, before the next sim. The Thunder, who are currently the worst team in the league. Somewhat surprising, obviously, because Anthony Black is not the worst player. It seems like there's some teams who should be worse than the Thunder. But luck also plays a factor, and so we'll see. Then we have the Blazers, who are a top team out west. The Warriors, who are competitive. And finally, the Wizards, who kind of got screwed by Halliburton random event, I think, a year or 2 ago. And so they probably need to go into a rebuild or at least make some aggressive moves. But yeah, I'm going to take a second and do this actually I won't do it now, whatever. Let's take a look and see contract extensions. I'm on the Thunder, so let me go back to the beginning and restart. It looks like Melton wants a minimum and Josh Hart wants a minimum for the Sixers, known for the Bucks. A few guys for the Bulls. Dyson Daniels wants about $30 million. Kevin Porter Jr. wants about $5 million. Kuminga will extend, as will Grimes for the Cavs. Brunson, ooh, that's a big one. He'll extend for the Celtics. Cole Anthony for the Grizzlies if they want him. Moody for the Hawks. Kyrie will extend. I know he just got that bad random event. Van Vliet, McBride want minimums. Barnes wants 37, and then Thibault wants a minimum. Clowney wants 8.92 for the Jazz. DeJounte Murray for the Knicks wants 22. Lonzo will extend, as will Cade. So is that the Lakers' big 3 right there? Certainly 3 of their best players that are all willing to extend. Drummond will extend on a minimum, as will Dermanenko, and Eklund wants 5 for the Magic. Isaiah Jackson, I will extend right now for my team. For the Nets, Jalen Green will extend, as will Deng. Josh Green for the Nuggets will extend. Simons, Washington, and Hayes for the Pacers. Primo for the Outlaws wants about 9. Ooh, a lot of guys here for the Pistons. Gordon, Wiggins, Fultz, Herter wants 12, and Bridges wants a minimum. Okay. Surprised he doesn't want more, but hey, you'll take it if you're Detroit. OG wants only $4 million for the Raptors. That's someone who you should think about trading for. I know he's making 30 this year, but then he'll go down to 4. That seems like a good deal. Rozier and Hayes will extend for the Spurs. Siakam wants 5.59. He's a little on the older side. Mo Wagner, Sexton, and Clark for the Thunder. Then Dosumu and Precious will extend for the Wolves. A lot of guys here for the Blazers. Looks like Paul Reed, Ben Simmons, Johnson want minimums. Josh Giddey will extend, so that's big, as will Bam. And Robert Williams, who only wants a minimum. Some of these older guys who are like 31, but they're still mid-80s, and they're just asking for not that much money right now. Kuzma, 8. And then finally for the Wizards, Carter Jr., 13. Despite being only a couple years younger than those other guys who are asking for minimums. That's weird. Yeah, okay. Show picks here. The Bucks obviously with a ton. Pretty sure the Hawks will still have the most. Oh yeah. Especially because they acquired even more from the Jazz. They have so many picks now. Cookie's been great at acquiring picks. Spurs with a lot. Thunder as well. They're going to need that with their record. Okay, I'll show a couple free agents here very briefly. Obi wants 6.17, Bagley wants a minimum, Dusty Kersey wants 4.44, Jordan Nwora wants a minimum, Earl Jenkins wants a minimum, Lonnie Lane wants 5, Dante Joseph wants a minimum. Raymond Pierce wants a minimum. Michael Mann wants a minimum. John Carney wants 5. And then I'll show a couple more guys here. But yeah, that's about it for free agents. You can see their potential varies based on what team, what scout is looking at them. Oh, cap tables I have to show. Phew, I knew I was forgetting something. Let me fix this. And go to cap tables. So, start with the Sixers, my bad. 10 over for the Sixers. $15 over for the Bucks, $90 over for the Bulls. Cavs are near the hard cap. They might be over it. I'm not sure. Celtics are 31 over. 45 over for Seattle. The Grizzlies with a little bit of room. The Hawks are 62 over. The Heat with 10 in room, and they have a lot of guys coming off their books as well next season. Barely over for the Hornets. The Jazz coming off their ring are 73 over. I don't know if that was a market trade exception at the bottom or what that was. Kings have 15 in room. The Knicks are 4 over. The Lakers are 77 over. But they're certainly going to be a good playoff team this year as well. Lakers have had a pretty good run. They aren't appreciated as much for what they've done. The Mavs are 47 over. Nets are 64 over. Nuggets are 46.99. 54 for the Pacers, still with those Simons and Vassell contracts. Vegas is exactly 38 over. Pistons are 340,000 under. Raptors with probably the most room, and they're going to get even more room with OG coming off their books next season. Or they might extend him for $4 million and keep him on the team. We'll see. Rockets are 61 over. Spurs with the most cap room. Spurs are in a really nice position. I mean, if the Spurs can get the number 1 pick, or even like a top 3 pick in this draft, these players are all going to be pretty formidable, and so that'll set them up really well with all their money and all their other draft picks that they have stashed away. The Wolves are 46 under. They're another team that's hoping for a good rookie. Plus, they have even more guys coming off their books after this season. Blazers are definitely over the hard cap. They're spending the most money in the league. Warriors are 45 over. And they have Fox coming off their books. And then finally, the Wizards are 30 over, basically 31. How long is this video? 17 minutes, so this is already a long one, but I'm going to show some team stats pretty quickly here. We'll just go by points per game and scroll for a second so you can see how well your team might be doing if you're interested in that. The Bucks are scoring the least. Points allowed, so the best defense is currently the Suns. The worst defense is the Thunder. Differential, the Mavs are tied with the Bulls. Let's go Mavs for the best differential, followed by Magic, Cavs, Blazers, Jazz, Suns, Rockets, and Warriors. We'll do field goal percentage here. The worst is the Bucks, and then we will do 3-point percentage. And scroll to about here. We'll sort by assists per game and scroll down one more time just so you guys can see these stats as well from your teams. But it looks like the Timberwolves are getting the least assists in terms of rebounding. The Nets are number 1 and the Raptors are the worst. So there's some additional team stats for you guys. And with that, good luck to everyone. And the second deadline is, what is today? Saturday, so it's probably Monday night. But it's in the Discord, so you'll be able to see it there. Good luck, and bye-bye.